Okay, fine tuning tips. Roller spacers. We're the only manufacturer to include roller spacers with our hinge and roller kits and our hardware boxes. And the roller spacers are just a really good tool to fine tune the garage door. In the old days, we used to use washers, and the problem with the washers were you used to have to slide them on before you put the roller on the door. The nice thing about the roller spacers is you can slide them on before and you can clip them off, clip them on after. So we're going to show you the gap on this door without any roller spacers on the bottom of the right side and the bottom of the left side. Okay, we popped in one roller spacer there, and we're going to go ahead and go to the other side. Like I said, it's always good to start with at least one roller spacer. Okay, and we're going to put one more on this side. Just pop it on. Like I said, the regular needle nose works a little bit better than the vice grip pliers. Okay, what we're going to do now that we have a roller spacer on the bottom, that'll keep the track from dragging the door. Sometimes you may need to put two, but in this instance, we're just going to use one. We'll go ahead and loosen up the jam bracket, and we're going to push the jam bracket over towards the door a little bit more. And the reason we're doing this is we want the track to come down in a V on each side so that the door always stops in the same place. That'll prevent it from going left to right and making a paint mark on the front of the door. And if you could see right here, you can see how far we moved this jam bracket in from where it was originally installed. Okay, now we moved from the right side of the door to the left side of the door, and you can see the gap there. We have the roller spacer in. We're going to go ahead and loosen up the jam bracket. And we're going to go ahead and tap it over to where it's tighter. So see, the roller spacer keeps it off the track and just gives it a little bit of space. We'll go ahead and tighten this back down. Okay, so now we can see the gap on the top, and it's actually pretty even on each side. This is the left-hand side, this is the right-hand side, and like I said, it's pretty even. So to keep that gap even and to keep the door from coasting left to right, we're gonna go ahead and put a couple roller spacers on the left-hand side, probably 3 and maybe 2 on this side, just to keep the gap always even. Okay, so right now, we see the gap here, so we're going to go ahead and put in a couple roller spacers, and that'll always keep the gap the same. It's not going to drift back and forth. Okay, we got 2 in there, and I think that's going to be pretty good. And now we'll go to the right-hand side of the door. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put 2 on this side. And like I said, this is going to keep it true so that the door doesn't drift left or right. So it's always stopping in the same place. There you go. It's that easy. On the roller spacers, it's kind of hard to show on just a couple short videos all the different circumstances, but you can clearly see when you raise your door up or down which side that it's going to or favoring to if the tracks are adjusted right. So the roller spacers are really just a fine tuning to kind of kick your door to the left or kick your door to the right. Like I said, the tracks should always be in a V so that the door stops in the same place each time it closes. Because if it's not in a V and it's allowed to scoot left or scoot right, then that's where you see the rub line on the door from the paint if your door was painted, and the door can grind against the track. But when you stand back and you look at the door when the door comes up, you'll be able to see which side, if there's more gap on one side than the other, and you can just true it out. The side that has more gap, you'd probably want to go to the opposite side and put a little spacer in there just to push it over, say, to the right. So if it's a big gap on the right, put a little bit of more roller spacer on the left just to kick it to the right. And you're just trying to get that gap even, like about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. Is better to keep it tighter than looser. But anyways, and remember that you can slide them on when you're doing the hinge and roller conversion like that, or just get the needle nose pliers and you can just snap them on after the door's up. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay, now that you can see that the roller spacers were put on the door is more evenly centered on each side. And that's the whole purpose of the roller spacers, just to keep the door even. So it closes in the same place, opens in the same place, doesn't grind on the tracks, doesn't make any noise, and you don't see that notorious ugly paint line when the door slides to the left or to the right.